I froze, unable to hide my disappointment. What was I missing? Even the little fox was surprised. How could this be? 2 drops of dragon blood with 5,000 years of cultivation, and yet it can't help you become a divine dragon? This is truly rare. Your power now far exceeds that of an ordinary divine dragon, but you still can't break through? Your cultivation increased, but your realm didn't? Even the dragon mother was puzzled this time. I looked completely confused. I think I understand now, the dragon mother suddenly said. I looked at her curiously. You're not an ordinary dragon, she stared at me and said. I was stunned, not understanding what she meant. So my dragon blood can only enhance your strength, but can't directly help you break through. This has actually been obvious for a long time. It's your destiny, the dragon mother explained. I was even more confused. She said, you're missing a fate and a trigger. Fate? Trigger? My expression changed. Yes. Breaking through in cultivation depends on fate and timing. When the fate is right, the trigger appears. In other words, your timing hasn't come yet. Only someone connected to your destiny, someone fated to you, can help you transform into a divine dragon. Do you know any female dragons? Or someone very close? The Yangtze River dragon maiden? I blurted out. I've been trapped for a long time and don't know her. But if you say so, it must be her. You two are fated. I guess only she can help you become a divine dragon, the dragon mother asserted. I was completely stunned. Fated? As a fortune teller, I couldn't help but ask, Dragon Mother, what does that mean? You have ties from a past life, the Dragon Mother said. I snapped back to reality. Could it be that I really knew the Yangtze River dragon maiden in a previous life? It was hard to believe. Maybe you owe her, or she owes you. That's why after so many lifetimes, only she can help you become a divine dragon, the Dragon Mother continued. But she dislikes you, the Dragon Mother asked. No. You're mortal enemies? No either. Then what's the problem? She has no interest in romantic relationships, and I can't force it, I said helplessly. Even after thousands of years, she remained pure, obviously rejecting or even detesting romantic feelings. That's not right. Since she's fated to you, she should have been interested when she first saw you, the Dragon Mother said. I smiled bitterly. Really? The Dragon Mother seemed puzzled. Are there no other female dragons in the mortal realm? No. Then it can only be her. Your fate is deep, so why didn't you come together? The Dragon Mother looked even more confused. Did something go wrong? I could only smile wryly, feeling guilty inside. The Yangtze River dragon maiden was probably still waiting for me. Or is her identity complicated? That's why your fate is troubled, the Dragon Mother asked. I shook my head, uncertain. How old is she? Around 4,000 years, I'm not sure. The Dragon Mother pondered. Your fate is rare, yet still troubled now. Maybe it's because so much time has passed. Your fate spans over 4,000 years, and you might even be connected to her previous life. I was stunned. That can't be? What was she 4,000 years ago? Do you know? People reincarnate, and so do dragons, the Dragon Mother said. I was speechless. I hadn't thought that far ahead. Just recently, when I divined for her, I felt a little worried. Because the hexagram showed that once she entered the demon realm, she would never return. Even Lu Dongbin said she was somehow connected to demons? Thinking of this, my head ached. Forget it. Remember, if you want to break through quickly, you must unite with her, the Dragon Mother said. This is the end of your fate. When you unite with her, your fate will be used up. She is your breakthrough trigger. Once used, the trigger is gone, the Dragon Mother added. I was stunned. As a fortune teller, I immediately understood what she meant. Simply put, once the Yangtze River dragon maiden and I are together, the next day she will leave, or I will leave her, because our fate has reached its end. After that, we will never meet again. Isn't that too cruel to her? My mind went blank. I had nothing to say. You've got to think more openly, Daenerys said. It's already rare that the bond from your past life has lasted until now. How many people in this world truly meet someone sincere and end up together? Most are fated but separated, just passing strangers. I felt conflicted, only thinking of the dragon maiden by the Yangtze River who was still waiting for me. She was full of hope, like a friend waiting to go out and play, but as time passes, only disappointment deepens. Forget it. Since I can't help you become a divine dragon, I'll give you half of my cultivation to help you escape from here. Daenerys continued. Snapping back to reality, I hurriedly said, Daenerys, how can you just give this up? I knew exactly what it meant. It meant she was giving me half of the results of her years of hard cultivation. If you die, I'll never get out, do you understand? She looked at me seriously. Her eyes were full of hope and a desperate longing for freedom, staking everything on me. I was stunned for a few minutes, then solemnly promised, Daenerys, I understand. My name is Long Shiba, Dragon 18, I swear to never disappoint you. I will find the other half of your dragon body and help you break free. You're called Dragon 18? She smiled, that promise is enough. Her expression grew serious. This half of my cultivation is nearly 10,000 years old. Your cultivation base is too shallow. If you forcefully absorb it, your meridians could be damaged or even crushed. The risk is huge. So what I'm transferring to you isn't the cultivation itself, but spiritual energy. It will dramatically boost your power, but once used up, it's gone. You must be cautious. I understand. I nodded. At that moment, the little fox urgently said, It seems she's coming, heading this way. Lei Zizhu also tensed. 18, get closer to me and sit properly. Daenerys called sternly. I quickly sat in front of her. Daenerys pinned all her hopes of escape on me. I couldn't let her down. Then two golden dragon whiskers wrapped around me. We have to unite our minds. Relax your body, open your dantian. I will transfer the spiritual energy to you. It might hurt, just endure it. Okay. I agreed. Pain was nothing to me. Ready? Ready. Begin. I focused completely, opening my dantian. Daenerys's dragon whiskers coiled around me grew hot. A powerful force poured into my body. Instantly, I was racked with unbearable pain, trembling uncontrollably. Fortunately, I regained control quickly. The spiritual energy gathered in my dantian, the swelling pain intense but bearable. I concentrated on feeling the energy flow inside me and noticed Daenerys's gaze dimming, the golden glow on her dragon head fading. It was like her life force was draining. Half her cultivation came at a heavy price. This only strengthened my resolve. If I didn't save her, I, Dragon 18, would rather die. After 3 minutes, the dragon whiskers lost their strength and loosened their grip. Daenerys was breathing heavily, extremely weak. But I felt the power in my dantian, nearly 10,000 years of cultivation condensed into spiritual energy, simply astounding. I felt like I had become a mine of spiritual energy and treasure. Daenerys's strength was indeed incredible. After all, she was the very first dragon. Even more long-lived than many immortals. Daenerys. I hurriedly stood up. I'm fine. You're not an ordinary dragon. Others who receive this spiritual energy suffer pain beyond endurance or even burst their bodies. But you're unharmed. I didn't misjudge you, she said gratefully. Thank you, Daenerys. I was deeply grateful. I would treasure this spiritual energy in my dantian. Unfortunately, this energy won't help you break through to divine dragon form, Daenerys sighed. It seems only the dragon maiden you mentioned can help. I remained silent. Those 2 drops of your original dragon blood earlier only improved you slightly, just a reminder of your millennia of cultivation, enhancing your power and Dao practice. It's a pity those 2 drops of blood equal 10,000 years of Dao foundation. If I had more inside me, needless to say, I would have given them to you already. In a way, this is good. The more power your body can bear now, the more your strength will skyrocket once you break through to divine dragon form. Your power will be astonishing, Daenerys said. My eyes sparkled, a fiery passion burned inside me. One day, I, Dragon 18, will become a divine dragon, soaring freely across the sky. Alright, time's running out. The Golden Spirit Holy Mother is coming soon. To make a long story short, my other half's body may be in the immortal realm. Daenerys said urgently. The immortal realm? I was stunned. Scared, she asked with a smile. No, it's just right. I said with fierce determination in my eyes. Why? She was curious. I told her everything that had happened to me and said I would break into the southern heavenly gate to help her reclaim her body and repay her for giving me half her cultivation. Daenerys was shocked when she heard that. The Jade Emperor actually wants to behead you? Exactly. Her eyes shone, no wonder. Daenerys, why did you say your body is only possibly in the immortal realm? I asked. I was suppressed and unconscious for 1,000 years, unable to sense the exact location of my physical body, the dragon mother sighed, clearly worn down by years of despair. Then I. First, take one of my dragon scales. If my body is in the immortal realm, the scale will react, the dragon mother said. I immediately plucked a dragon scale and put it away carefully. If it's not in the immortal realm, is it in the demon realm or the mortal world? No matter what, as long as the scale reacts, it means we've found it. I gritted my teeth. Dragon Mother, rest assured, Dragon 18 always keeps his word. I believe you, child, she said with a comforting smile. By the way, Dragon Mother, who did this to you? I asked angrily. That's none of your concern. I don't want you dragged into it, she shook her head. Alright, I didn't press further. Obviously, that person is incredibly powerful. That's why the Dragon Mother is so cautious, she fears I might suffer the same fate. At that moment, the Dragon Mother looked outside. The Golden Spirit Saintess is here. The little fox grew tense, and the Thunderstrike bamboo sword flew into my hand. Perfect timing, I said, eyes sharp as lightning. Creak, creak. I clenched my fists as the surging power within me boiled over. The little fox jumped onto me, slipping under my clothes with only its small head peeking out. Before, facing the Golden Spirit Saintess, we could only run away. But not anymore. With the Dragon Mother's primordial dragon blood absorbed, just imagine how much I've grown stronger. Besides, she already spent a lot of energy sealing the passage. Now in battle, I won't be powerless. Dragon Mother, until we meet again, I said, turning around. Good, I'll assist you when you face the Golden Spirit Saintess, she nodded. I was thrilled, having the Dragon Mother's support was the best. She added, one more thing. Go ahead. I listened intently. Helping me find my body is dangerous. If things get critical, you can drain the dragon blood from my physical body to repel enemies. As long as the body remains safe, you can use the rest however you want. Thank you for your trust, I nodded. If it came down to being besieged, a desperate fight would be the only option. The Dragon Mother's trust warmed me. That's only right. Also, if your body really is in the immortal realm, you can seek help from a friend of mine. She will assist you. A friend? I was surprised. After all, the Dragon Mother is the original dragon, immortal for many years, having trustworthy friends makes sense. Her name is Jiu Yuan. Jiu Yuan Demon Lord? My expression changed. She's not a demon lord, the Dragon Mother denied. Dragon Mother, you probably don't know, but she was demoted to the mortal world by the Jade Emperor. The Jiu Yuan Demon Lord in the mortal world is actually her, I explained. The Dragon Mother was suppressed before Jiu Yuan's fall. She didn't realize her friend was no longer a deity in the immortal realm. What? The Dragon Mother was shocked, mumbling, how could this happen? She was deeply saddened by her friend's fate. To lighten her mood, I told her everything about how Jiu Yuan's true whereabouts have long been unknown. The Dragon Mother was silent for a long time after hearing all this. Even though no one knows where she is, maybe she's doing all right now, I tried to comfort her. She won't remain silent for long. She will surely rise again, the Dragon Mother murmured. You should sneak out through the passage you opened and avoid all immortal realm deities. Your actions today have made you an enemy of the immortal realm. You can't stay in the mortal world any longer. You have to head to the demon realm. To cross the demon sea, you'll need the 10,000 Demons Incense, then find the ferryman who can take you across safely. Alright. I nodded in agreement. The Dragon Mother shared everything she knew without holding back. Remember, be quick. You've caused quite a stir this time. Got it, Dragon Mother, I answered cautiously. I can't linger in the mortal world, there are more than a dozen heavenly soldiers frantically chasing me. I'm amazed by your guts to break the heavenly realm's formation. I wouldn't dare do that. You might become the next one to wreak havoc in heaven. You make the dragon descendants proud. The Dragon Mother's eyes shone with pride. My gaze flickered. Take care of yourself too, Dragon Mother, I said, then lifted the Thunderstrike bamboo sword, ready to leave. At that moment, a terrifying aura approached. It was the Golden Spirit Saintess. Her icy glare cut like blades. Her 3 clones had been wiped out, proving she'd locked onto this spot. However, her aura was noticeably weaker, suggesting the formation repair drained her greatly and damaged her energy. For me, this was a once-in-a-millennium opportunity to strike while she's vulnerable. Besides, her life palace's dim-proof Ludongbin must have told her about me. She's in for big trouble this time. I smirked coldly. Come out. If you dare destroy my clones, face me, the Golden Spirit Saintess roared, her voice exploding like a sonic blast, piercing the ears. Before, I was too scared to show myself. Now, I stepped out directly from the energy fluctuations. Seeing me appear, her murderous intent surged, but there was also hesitation. She clearly didn't want to provoke the one who imprisoned the Dragon Mother. She fixed her killing intent on me. Golden Spirit Saintess, why don't you seal the gap in the heavenly realm's formation? Can't you? I sneered coldly. I'll kill you myself, she roared furiously. Boom! The Golden Spirit Saintess lunged at me, her pale fingers swiftly clawing toward my neck, fast and precise. I met her attack with a punch. Her fingertips stabbed like razor-sharp swords against my fist, and suddenly, spiritual light exploded. Ha! Her expression changed. She must have helped you to spike your cultivation, right? But that's all you've got. You're dead, she sneered, pressing her fingers to force me back. I staggered back, hitting a tree root. Looking down, I saw the back of my hand caved in. Her strike packed incredible power. Even with my vital energy injured, her strength was still at the great immortal level. You'll always be trash from the lower realm. Even if someone helps you, it's useless. She closed in step by step. I quickly told Lei Jiju, take the little fox and get out of here. Right now, Lei Jiju couldn't fight the Golden Spirit Saintess and would only get hurt. It wasn't worth it. Lei Jiju hesitated for a moment but agreed. She shifted into human form, scooped up the little fox, and moved to the side. Though reluctant, the little fox obediently stayed quiet without crying or fussing. Want to kneel and beg for mercy, the Golden Spirit Saintess sneered. Don't make me laugh. Your vital energy is injured, let's see how many rounds you can last. I focused my mind, and suddenly, spiritual power surged in my dantian. Half of the Dragon Mother's cultivation, transformed into spiritual energy, flowed like a flood into my limbs. An unprecedented strength welled up inside me. My entire body burned hot, my eyes blazing with excitement. Facing the advancing Golden Spirit Saintess, I suddenly flashed. Boom! With a loud explosion, I was already in front of her, swinging a heavy punch. She sneered coldly, disdain in her voice, like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. You're courting doom. She snapped her fingers. This time, let's cripple your hand. As fist met fingertip, a tearing force instantly burst forth. Her face changed drastically. You? Boom! She staggered back 3 steps, clearly badly injured in her vital energy. Joy swelled inside me. This was the power of half the Dragon Mother's cultivation, terrifying indeed. It seemed the Dragon Mother's strength truly surpassed the Golden Spirit Saintess's. Seizing the moment, I unleashed my 10-step killing technique, rapidly throwing a second punch. She squinted and shouted angrily, "You're begging for death." Her fury surged, and as she raised her hand to counterattack, 2 dragon whiskers swooshed out, quickly wrapping around her wrists. But the Golden Spirit Saintess reacted swiftly, her other hand deftly avoided the entanglement. Only half of the Dragon Mother's surprise attack worked. At this point, only one hand was restrained. Angrily furious, she spat out, "Dragon Mother, how dare you sneak attack me?" Cough. It was her hesitation that cost her. I struck her chest with my fist. Boom! She coughed up blood, her lips trembling, turning vividly red. I grew more exhilarated. Spiritual power from my dantian surged continuously, condensing on my fist, ready to throw the third punch. But a voice sounded, 18, be careful using your cultivation. The Golden Spirit Saintess isn't at full strength yet. I'll hold her off, you retreat quickly. It was the Dragon Mother reminding me to stay calm. I knew I couldn't use half her cultivation longer. If I didn't escape soon, other great immortals from heaven would arrive, the formation gap would seal, and I'd be trapped. I hurriedly withdrew the spiritual energy from my fist back to my dantian. Fortunately, I hadn't used much, or it would have been painful. With the Golden Spirit Saintess still right before me, I couldn't pass up the chance and reached out to touch her. I quickly found a small vial at her waist. It had to be her personal immortal pill stash. Time was tight, so I couldn't examine the contents closely. How dare you desecrate me? She glared furiously, a mix of disgust and rage on her face. I immediately withdrew the pill without hesitation. Lei Jiju, let's go. The little fox jumped onto me instantly. I scooped it up, and Lei Jiju instantly transformed into a sword at my feet. With a sharp tearing sound, Lei Jiju carried me flying fast toward the gap in the Heavenly Realm formation. Looking back, we were increasingly putting distance from the Golden Spirit Saintess. You won't escape. I'll chop off your hand, she roared in rage, crazily chasing after us. But the hard dragon whiskers firmly bound her wrists, making it hard for her to break free for now. I flew farther and farther. Thanks to the whiskers' hardness, the Golden Spirit Saintess couldn't break free immediately. Her furious shouts rang in my ears. Let go! Let go! I ignored her. Quickly, I took out the pill I just snatched, opened it, and found 2 golden, shimmering immortal pills inside. Clearly, these were her treasures. I immediately poured out 1 pill, a fresh medicinal aroma filled the air. Lei Jiju, eat this fast. I urged. Feeling anxious, Lei Jiju was still too slow, I had to help it cultivate quickly. Luckily, I had prepared ahead of time by searching the Golden Spirit Saintess for immortal pills. Master, this is an immortal pill. Lei Jiju said excitedly. I know, eat it quickly. I crouched down and handed the pill to it. My master is so kind to me, I have no way to repay him, it said, moved. The elixir transformed into immortal energy, quickly entering its body. No need to repay, I said in a soft voice. Once the elixir was taken, the sword's blade immediately glowed with dazzling golden light. Whoosh! With a sharp whistle, Leiji Bamboo's speed surged by more than half. It transformed into a sword beam. This immortal pill is extraordinary, truly a priceless treasure from the Golden Spirit Holy Mother. Far beyond any ordinary elixir. Of course, since Leiji Bamboo is an immortal weapon, only by taking an immortal pill could the effect appear so quickly. As she absorbed the pill, both her speed and cultivation improved. I breathed a sigh of relief. Master, this immortal pill is amazing, Leiji Bamboo said excitedly. After all, this was the first time in years she had taken an immortal pill. Indeed, I replied with satisfaction. Master, you treat me so well, I want to follow you forever, Leiji Bamboo confessed. I shook my head. We have an agreement. When the time comes, I will set you free. I felt this was just a moment of impulse. Who would want to be an immortal weapon forever? Better to follow the agreement. After all, the oath has been made. Leiji Bamboo fell silent, and the speed beneath my feet quickened. At that moment, I looked down at the little fox in my arms. I've saved another pill for you. The little fox's cultivation was too low. Recklessly taking an immortal pill would be too risky, so caution was needed. No need, Daddy, you keep it. The little fox shook her head. Making noise again? I said helplessly. The little fox pitifully stopped crying. I handed the pill and the bottle to her. She refused at first, but after I became serious, she carefully took the elixir in a cautious embrace. Keep it safe for now, I reminded her. Got it. The little fox shoved the pill into her belly, and the bottle suddenly vanished. When you grow up, I'll give you lots of immortal pills, she said. Already painting a pie so young? I shook my head and smiled. With the aid of the immortal pill, in less than 20 minutes, I felt the heavenly array again. The gray sky, like after rain clearing up, darkness soon giving way, as the demonic energy rushed wildly towards the southern heavenly gate through the gap I had opened. This demonic energy greatly affects the celestial realm. After all, the divide between immortals and demons is just a thought. I saw the gap expanding, the crack spreading, with residual immortal spells lingering at the breach. It seemed the Golden Spirit Holy Mother had really gone all out. I was excited. The bigger the gap, the better. Fortunately, there are no immortals over there. Leiji Bamboo, hurry. I relaxed. At this rate, maybe the dragon girl of the Yangtze River was still waiting for me. Got it. Leiji Bamboo accelerated, flying with me at full speed. Boom! The air violently rubbed as demonic and immortal energies collided. About 3,000 or 4,000 meters from the gap, I grew excited. I was almost back to the mortal realm. Suddenly, the little fox screamed, "So many immortals are coming." What? I was stunned as Leiji Bamboo's sword abruptly halted. How far from the gap? I asked. Our speed isn't enough. If we go on, we'll run straight into them. Daddy, I'm scared. The little fox trembled. I patted her head, eyes complicated. These were the celestial soldiers and generals of the southern heavenly gate, noticing the anomaly and rushing over en masse. I hadn't expected that despite my efforts, I was still a step too late. Master, what do we do? Leiji Bamboo asked anxiously. I looked down at the little fox. Is Uncle Lu Dongbin among those immortals? The little fox sensed and said, yes. Good. I relaxed. Don't be afraid. Daddy, will Lu Dongbin let us go? The little fox asked. When I had him meet the Jade Emperor, I told him to make sure the Jade Emperor personally repaired the array. He should have conveyed the message. I was prepared for this. Daddy is amazing. The little fox admired me. I helplessly ruffled her head, and she instantly stopped being afraid. Even Leiji Bamboo relaxed, though still worried. So many heavenly soldiers, will Lu Dongbin let us leave? If not, Long Shiba will have a big fight today. My gaze was firm. I whispered to Leiji Bamboo, hide near the foot of the mountain. Okay. Leiji Bamboo swiftly led me into hiding. I concealed my aura, releasing the remaining demon energy from my inner core to mask our presence. My demon energy had been tempered by lightning, making it hard for ordinary immortals to detect. That gave me the confidence to approach. I watched the huge crystals falling continuously from the cave entrance. Soon, a crowd appeared at the other side of the entrance. Over 100 people, mostly heavenly soldiers and generals, led by Lu Dongbin himself. His face was full of shock, as were the others. Clearly, the breach in the heavenly array had caught them utterly off guard, leaving their minds blank with surprise. I recognized Lu Dongbin at a glance. His life palace was newly appointed, and his immortal rank had clearly risen. I felt quietly pleased. But had he already seen the Jade Emperor? LV Dongbin quickly snapped back to his senses and hurriedly ordered, "Quick! Go summon the great immortals of the 72 caves and the 36 palaces to come help. The heavenly soldiers and generals also regained composure, wiped the shock off their faces, and all flew back. Soon, there was no one left behind LV Dongbin. He flew into the cave entrance, looked around with a puzzled expression, muttering under his breath as if asking where this kid could be hiding. I quickly had Thunderstrike Bamboo take me over. When LV Dongbin saw me, he was immediately startled. He instantly flew up to me, hastily took out a talisman, and stuck it on me, clearly an invisibility charm, worried other immortals might detect me. The little fox in my arms also stared at LV Dongbin. You've got some nerve. Causing such a huge mess, and still dare to show your face, he glared at me angrily. I said seriously, Old Fourth, congratulations on your promotion. Thanks to you. I just found out you stepped aside on purpose to divert me. LV Dongbin rolled his eyes. Why has your aura gotten so much stronger? He was clearly puzzled by my current concealment skills. It seemed I was able to fool him. I didn't say much. After listening to what I said, he was utterly shocked. You say the dragon mother is trapped here? When did that happen? It seemed he still didn't know. I asked, have you seen the Jade Emperor? LV Dongbin replied, I haven't been to the Lingxiao Palace yet, can't get there that fast. I only sent a message from the southern heavenly gate remotely before receiving the imperial decree. The Jade Emperor just found out the formation is malfunctioning, and I only got here recently. I nodded. Then I'm off. Take care of yourself. I tapped my foot, and Thunderstrike Bamboo was about to launch. The little fox quickly slipped inside my clothes. Stop! LV Dongbin shouted, halting me. I turned my head to look at him. The little fox tensed up, and even Thunderstrike Bamboo seemed to feel the tension freeze the air. The little fox whispered, Uncle, are you going to capture us? LV Dongbin patted the little fox's head. Yeah. Are you scared? The little fox tucked its head but then mustered courage and said, I'm not scared, I'm not scared. LV Dongbin laughed, don't be afraid. I'm his brother. The little fox peeked out again. LV Dongbin tapped my shoulder with a serious tone, for this little guy's sake, you better leave quickly. I breathed a sigh of relief. Okay. From now on, every immortal in the heavens who sees you will try to catch you. You'll become a walking target everyone curses. It's best to keep your distance and avoid them whenever possible, LV Dongbin warned solemnly. I nodded. Got it. I hesitated, then asked, when will the heavenly realm's formation be repaired? Of course, deep down, I hoped it would never be fixed. He shook his head. I can't do it, and many other immortals can't either, their divine power isn't enough. Looking at that huge hole, he looked scared too. This formation can only be repaired by the great immortals who arranged it back then. Not one can be missing. Unfortunately, one of those responsible back then isn't in the immortal realm anymore. Oh? I asked, pleasantly surprised, what a coincidence. LV Dongbin rolled his eyes. That suits you perfectly. I asked, why isn't that immortal in the realm anymore? Banished to the mortal world by the Jade Emperor. My expression changed. You mean the 9 Yuan Demon Lord? Exactly, LV Dongbin nodded. I was stunned. To think she was involved in setting the formation back then unexpected. LV Dongbin continued, when the Jade Emperor stripped her divine status and sent her to the mortal world, he probably never expected you'd manage to break the heavenly formation. He glanced toward the southern heavenly gate, then back at me. My face grew even darker. I asked, could the Jade Emperor reinstate the 9 Yuan Demon Lord's divine status to have her repair the formation? LV Dongbin said, I don't know if her status has been restored. After all, it's been many years, and she probably doesn't care anymore. But fixing the heavenly formation won't be possible without her help. The Jade Emperor might send someone to summon her back to heaven. I was shocked, thinking, does that mean the secret that the true 9 Yuan Demon Lord slipped away from that mysterious cave is already known to the Jade Emperor? I asked, she is imprisoned over there? LV Dongbin pointed in the opposite direction of the mysterious cave. She's being held there. I fell silent. His expression changed, pretending not to have heard. Immortals who are banished usually long to return to the heavens. If the Jade Emperor summons them, they generally return willingly. But she might no longer care about the Jade Emperor. You're right, I won't pay any attention. Banished to the mortal realm, no longer a deity, what's the point of caring about the celestial world anymore? But this puts the 9th Demon Lord in a tough spot. LV Dongbin urged, we need to leave quickly. If we delay, other gods will arrive. I nodded. All right. Take care of yourself. Leiji Bamboo began to tremble, its sword blade glowing brighter. The little fox waved goodbye to LV Dongbin. Suddenly LV Dongbin seemed to remember something. I have news for you. A friend just told me the Jade Emperor might have learned about Dianmu breaking heavenly rules. The beheading edict might already be drafted. That news struck me like a bolt from the blue. I was stunned. I asked miserably, is it certain? LV Dongbin sighed, it's almost certain. A maid went missing and reported directly to the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor was furious. Dianmu should have sensed it by now. I staggered, feeling a dull pain in my chest. Godmother is going to be beheaded? I had warned her last time at the Bohai Dragon Palace, but she couldn't avoid this disaster in the end. LV Dongbin urged anxiously, we have to go. I snapped back, old four, honestly, if I go to save her, what will happen? Godmother's been humiliated because of us. LV Dongbin shook his head. I advise you not to act on impulse. I consider her my godmother. Without her, I'd be dead already. I won't just watch her lose her head because of me. I can't live with that, I said firmly. LV Dongbin sighed. That's why I hesitated to tell you. Thank you, I said gratefully. Without you, I wouldn't have known. I knew you'd act impulsively, he laughed. You figured out my personality the first day you met me, right? I asked. LV Dongbin smiled. You're neither a gentleman nor a scoundrel. You're straightforward, and I respect that. I chuckled. Just right. If I hadn't saved that girl back then, I'd probably be 6 feet under by now. Do you know where she is? He asked. South Heavenly Gate. Good. I, Long Shiba, will definitely go save her. I turned to leave. LV Dongbin looked worried. Are you sure? Like the ancient Xinxiang splitting the mountain to save his mother, today I'll save my godmother, even if it means storming the execution ground. I declared. With that, Leiji Bamboo shot out of the celestial realm. LV Dongbin sighed, for such a big gap to appear in the celestial world must be in chaos. Leiji Bamboo flew steadily toward the mortal realm. After an hour of flight, we finally returned to the human world. I had Leiji Bamboo hover among the clouds and focused my mind, calling out to Dianmu. But there was only silence. Dianmu is a dignified person. She must have sensed the danger and gone to South Heavenly Gate to plead guilt on her own. My heart ached. She's been a great benefactor to me. I looked up at the sky, silently vowing, Godmother, don't worry. I will definitely come to save you. Leiji Bamboo, head toward the Demon Sea. Leiji Bamboo responded and swiftly carried me there. Luckily, I didn't go straight to South Heavenly Gate. If I had, considering 1 day in heaven equals a year on earth, the Yangtze Dragon Maiden might have had to wait for me 3 years. Since Leiji Bamboo was still absorbing celestial power, it flew at an astonishing speed. What normally would take 2 days, took less than 1. Along the way, the little fox sensed an attack by heavenly soldiers and had Leiji Bamboo take a detour. With my current strength, handling a few heavenly soldiers wouldn't be hard, but I didn't want to waste time fighting. I just wanted to reach the rendezvous as quickly as possible. Flying rapidly, I sensed a heavy demonic aura from afar. There was the Demon Sea. Yangtze Dragon Maiden, is she still waiting for me? Leiji Bamboo steadily carried me closer to the Demon Sea. A dense fog originally covered the area, not just ordinary weather but a powerful spell. The mist stretched for hundreds of miles, forbidding anyone else from entering. This must be a restricted zone in the mortal realm. But neither Leiji Bamboo nor the little fox showed fear. They flew straight through the fog toward the Demon Sea. Still, my unease grew. With 10 miles left, the Demon Sea's demonic aura grew terrifying, as if confronting a beast that devours all living things. Mother Dragon had told me that to successfully cross the Demon Sea, one must use the 10,000 Demons Incense and a ferryman for demons. The Yangtze Dragon Maiden probably didn't know this. If she leaves without me before I arrive, it could be very dangerous. That thought made me even more anxious. Suddenly, the little fox alerted, there. Heavenly soldiers. What? My heart sank. The heavenly soldiers have found this place. How is the Yangtze Dragon Maiden now? Leiji Bamboo, go quickly. I commanded. Got it. I tore off the invisibility talisman from my body and packed it away. It was still useful. I also withdrew my demonic aura. Now that we were here, I didn't want to conceal my presence any longer. If the Yangtze Dragon Maiden was still waiting, she needed to sense me first. This is the content of paragraphs 13/15. Please follow your logic to process the following text. Keep the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout intact. Only return the processed result. Lei Jiju sensed my movement and returned the demonic energy I had lent her earlier. She hadn't fully digested the elixir yet and couldn't use my energy for the time being. My entire body was suffused with demonic energy. At that moment, 4 heavenly soldiers charged over. Big demon, who are you? How dare you trespass into the mortal realm's forbidden land? Stay away from the demon sea. Stop right there. The four shouted in unison. My heart sank. Their initiative to approach meant they had already encountered the Yangtze Dragon Maiden? Could it be she was already ambushed and killed? Didn't you hear? Stop, the heavenly soldiers shouted again. I clenched my fists, demonic energy bubbling fiercely. Be careful, he's wearing celestial robes, one soldier said, eyeing my clothes. Are you kidding? He can wear celestial robes too, the others doubted. Have you seen the Dragon Maiden? I asked coldly. The Dragon Maiden? Are you Long Shiba? That's him. No wonder he's so saturated with demonic energy. Long Shiba, murderer of the plague god, defier of heaven, surrender at once. The four were thrilled, as if they had finally found their prey. Where's the Dragon Maiden? I bellowed. Her? We've already cut off her head. Don't think you can escape the pursuit by hiding here. What a joke. Wanna see her? Her head is right there on the ground, go and pick it up yourself. They laughed arrogantly. A cold light flickered in my eyes. Just wait, you're next, the heavenly soldiers sneered. I didn't move, but Lei Jiju acted first. Her fist swung, striking one soldier. He sneered, you think you can fight me barehanded? I am a celestial ah. A scream echoed as the fist landed. The soldier's head was severely crushed, his eyeballs popped out and fell midair. Having consumed 2 drops of the Dragon Mother's blood, I hadn't even exerted full strength in the mortal realm. These heavenly soldiers were no match. In an instant, one was dead, and the 3 others were shocked. You. I threw 2 more punches, 2 more soldiers' heads exploded and dropped. Only one heavenly soldier remained. My dragon blood boiled within me. He trembled in horror. Impossible. How can you kill us immortals? I grabbed him with a roar. Tell me, where is the Dragon Maiden? Didn't I say? She was executed on the spot. Her head is still over there, you can see for yourself if you don't believe me. The soldier panicked, pointing toward the shore of the demon sea. Do you think I can't see the lies in your words? Are you trying to trick me into going over there so you can escape? You 4? How could you have taken the Dragon Maiden's head? I stared him down, voice icy. Caught in the act of lying, the soldier was stunned into silence. Speak! I barked. I am telling you, don't kill me. We didn't see her when we arrived. The soldier's face was filled with terror. I immediately turned my gaze toward the shore of the demon sea, feeling both relieved and pained. The Yangtze Dragon Maiden wasn't dead. But because I broke my promise, she must have felt deeply disappointed and plunged into the demon sea alone. She must have been furious when she left, right? She had every right to be angry. After all, I promised her I would come within 3 days, yet she waited in vain the entire time. Worry crept in. Where exactly is she now? Could she be in danger? Is she injured? Alone, without support. My mind was in turmoil. I carried the heavenly soldier, stepping on Lei Jiju, and headed toward the shore of the demon sea. Before me stretched a vast ocean. Unlike what I imagined, I thought the waters of the demon sea would be terrifyingly black, but the seawater was actually clear and transparent. Only a layer of misty demonic energy hovered atop like morning fog. The sea stretched endlessly, eerie and dark like a deep ocean. No one was by the shore. The Yangtze Dragon Maiden had indeed entered the demon sea alone. Only a thin trail of footsteps remained on the shore. The footprints were orderly, all heading in one direction. Evidently, she had quietly gazed that way throughout these 3 days. She barely moved, afraid of missing the moment I arrived. Perhaps she originally intended to greet me first with a smile. But 3 days passed, all she received was disappointment. Then, she walked alone into the sea. I stared at the footprints, lost in thought. The little fox in my arms looked puzzled. Please let me go. I've told you everything. The heavenly soldier began begging. Snapping out of my sorrow, I shot him a cold look. I'm asking you, where is the ferryman? As a heavenly soldier, he should know. I needed to catch up with the Yangtze Dragon Maiden, but the priority was saving the Electric Mother. There was no place for me in the mortal realm anymore. I could only carry the Electric Mother across the demon sea and enter the demon realm. Only then would I have a chance to survive. I had to prepare well to cross the demon sea. Find the ferryman, find the 10,000 demon incense. I knew that this trip to Nantian Gate was best done while injured, fleeing with the Electric Mother. Unprepared, crossing this treacherous demon sea would surely mean death. This is content from paragraph 14/15. Please see the processed version below, preserving the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout. The worst-case scenario was that the Electric Mother got killed. I'd either die on the spot or be locked up in the celestial prison, awaiting judgment from the Jade Emperor. So I had to prepare for the worst and get ready for the best in advance. I don't know, the celestial soldier quickly shook his head. I stared at him intently. I really don't know. I only heard that the demon ferrymen are magic practitioners who ferry people into the demon realm. Most are from the mortal world and generally don't hang around here, the soldier explained nervously. I kept staring, making him nearly soil himself. He hurriedly added, "You don't seek out demon ferrymen, they have to be invited." "How do you invite them?" I asked coldly. "They're like boatmen, you pay them to ferry you across. You cast a spell to summon them, but they demand a payment," the soldier said. "Tell me the method." I demanded angrily. "I'm telling you, use blood as wax and hair as a wick, then light it by the shore. If the hair burns completely, it means the demon ferryman accepted your request and will come. If it doesn't burn fully, it means they ignore you. But even if they agree, it takes 2 or 3 days to come. Once here, they only wait 5 or 6 days, and if you don't board, they'll leave." So that's how it worked. In other words, demon ferrymen might be somewhere in the demon sea, and you have to use magic to summon them. That's good, it means I don't have to look for them myself. Just burn this kind of talisman. "What about the 10,000 demon incense?" I asked. "I don't know." The soldier shook his head vigorously. I squinted at him. Terrified, he blurted, "I'm a deity, how would I know where to get these demon items?" Even now, his pride hadn't faded. "Fine, I believe you," I nodded. "Then, can you let me go? I've told you everything you need to know." The soldier nervously tested. "Let you go? Dream on. I might escort you part of the way." I raised my fist and slammed it into his head. With a boom, his skull exploded, he died completely. "Let you go? You think you'll bring the celestial soldiers back to besiege me? I'm not foolish enough to free the tiger and invite disaster." I tossed his body into the demon sea. With a splash, the corpse sank. Suddenly, I noticed something underwater. Dragging the body into the deep sea, it vanished in the blink of an eye. The speed was astonishing, there really were strange things in the demon sea. It made me even more worried about the Yangtze Dragon Maiden. I asked Lei Jiju, "Do you know about the 10,000 demon incense?" "Sir, not really," she apologized. It seemed she, like the millennia-old fox demon, cared only about ascending and didn't pay attention to these ferrying essentials. So how to make the 10,000 demon incense? Time was tight, I had to set a fallback plan beforehand. No fallback meant even if I saved the electric mother, I'd face a dead end. Truly caught between a rock and a hard place. "It's fine." I plucked 3 strands of hair, bit my finger, squeezed out dragon blood, and coated the hairs, which turned golden. I lit the hairs, they burned fiercely and steadily since dragon blood fueled the flame. The hair was so stiff, it stood straight even when poked into the ground. The 3 hairs burned for an hour, finally turning to ash. I breathed a sigh of relief, it meant a demon ferryman accepted my request. The soldier I killed said the ferryman would come in 2 or 3 days and wait 5 or 6 days. I only needed to bring the electric mother to the demon sea quickly, and someone would come for me. But would the ferryman be male or female? After an hour, I found no other ash from burnt hair, meaning the Yangtze Dragon Maiden hadn't called a demon ferryman, she ventured into the demon sea alone. My first preparation was complete. What about the 10,000 demon incense? Zhang Jiushuan hadn't said, and Lei Jiju didn't know either, I'd have to ask around. Without the incense, ferrying would still be risky. "Lei Jiju, lead me out of the demon sea first," I said. "Okay," she appeared at my feet immediately. We'd head toward the southern heavenly gate, if possible, we'd find the incense along the way, but if not, we'd rescue the electric mother first. At that moment, the little fox timidly spoke, "I know where the 10,000 demon incense is." "You know?" I was startled, even Lei Jiju trembled slightly. "Yes, I overheard others mention it," the little fox said. I grinned, "Tell me quickly." Knowing the location meant I could buy, barter, or seize it. "The little fox says we should leave here first." "All right, Lei Jiju," I called out. "Yes." Lei Jiju took to the air with me. I rubbed the little fox's cheek. "You're truly my lucky star." "Really?" The little fox beamed. "If we moved quickly, maybe we could catch up to the Yangtze Dragon Maiden." I picked up speed. We smoothly left the thick fog zone on the Demon Sea shore. I had Lei Jiju fly a circle while I planted formation flags at some key points, shielding this area. I didn't want to run into a dozen celestial soldiers lying in wait when passing through with the electric mother. This is the 15th and final segment. Please maintain the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout, and only return the processed result. I just hoped that when I arrived, I would see only the demon ferryman. An hour passed. I had finished screening off, mainly to block out the aura of the fallen heavenly soldiers. The demon shore was vast, but my screening covered only a small area. Little Fox couldn't help but ask, "Duh. Auntie Dianmu is really in danger now, isn't she?" I sighed and nodded in confirmation. Dianmu didn't respond or appear, which likely meant she had already been taken to the southern heavenly gate, waiting to be beheaded. "Little Fox?" I asked. She hesitated. "I want to stay with you, not be apart, but right now." Her eyes reddened, and choking back tears, she said, "I want to help, not just stand by and do nothing. You don't like lazy people, I'm afraid you'll hate me." A sharp pang touched my heart, affection mixed with pain. "Little Fox, are you planning to go after the 10,000 demon incense by yourself?" "Yes, I've decided. I will do my best to get the 10,000 demon incense back. Then you rescue Auntie Dianmu, and we enter the demon realm together." She pulled away from me and said seriously. I said with concern, "What if something happens to you? How will I explain to your mother?" She answered firmly, "I can do it. Trust me." "No, I can't let you take such a risk." Little Fox choked up, "I'm already grown up." Tears blurred her eyes, leaving me speechless. "Don't cry, when do adults ever cry?" She sobbed, "You don't believe me, so I have to cry." My resolve softened. Okay, I agree to let you go, but you have to follow my plan. I'll have Leiji Bamboo, Thunderstrike Bamboo, help you find Morong Chingcheng. She'll accompany you. She was still too young to take human form. I couldn't let her go too soon, not without protection, for fear she'd be targeted. Little Fox said proudly, "I've gone out alone many times before and always came back safe. You almost didn't survive your last tribulation. If I hadn't helped, you'd be dead already." I then warned her not to fight stubbornly when in trouble, her life comes first. This is the content from section 1 of 117, processed according to my logic. The original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout have been preserved. She asked if she could take the elixir, and I seriously said not for the time being. She said earnestly, "I'll only take it if you're in danger." Lei Jiju quickly sensed Morong Chingcheng's location. "Sir, she's driving. I saw a black SUV speeding down the highway." Lei Jiju brought me to the ground. Morong Chingcheng was stunned when she saw me and slammed on the brakes. "Long Shiba? Long Shiba?" She rubbed her eyes, looking worn out. She had obviously heard the news about Long Shiyu's death. "It's me," I replied. The little fox stared curiously at Morong Chingcheng. "What are you doing here? Where have you been? Why didn't you come find me?" I was so worried, Morong Chingcheng asked urgently. "Morong, let me get straight to the point, I need your help," I said. "Go ahead." With teary eyes, Morong Chingcheng said, "Your sister's gone, but if there's something you need, I'll help for sure." I handed the little fox over to her. The little fox didn't resist, just looked a bit reluctant. She's the daughter of a 1,000-year-old fox demon. She needs help finding something, but I don't trust her to go alone, so leave it to me, I'll take her right now. Morong Chingcheng immediately agreed and held the little fox tightly. "You're not even going to ask what it is?" I was a bit surprised. "No." A warmth bloomed in my heart. I didn't know her well, but she was one of the few friends I could count on. "Then I'm counting on you." I turned to leave. Morong Chingcheng quickly stopped me. "Where are you going?" "I heard you killed the plague god, it's dangerous now." "Don't run around. Come home with me and hide." "Thank you, but I have somewhere to go." I felt warm inside. "Ha? Where?" She was shocked. I looked up at the sky, my gaze resolute, the southern heavenly gate. "Long Shiba, you're crazy. You're going to your own doom." Morong Chingcheng's eyes widened with worry. "It's hard to explain in a few words," I shook my head. "No, you have to explain clearly, or I won't let you take the risk." She blocked me seriously. "I'm going to save Dianmu." I told her what had happened. She was silent for a long time. I saw her trembling all over. "Shiba, if anything happens to you, even if I die, I'd be letting your sister down." "It'll be fine," I reassured her. "How can it be fine? You're going to the southern heavenly gate." Tears streamed down her face. I kept telling her about Long Shiyu's situation, and only then did she relax a little. She cried tears of joy. "Really? Really? I knew she wouldn't die easily." She wiped her tears, smiling through the sadness. "Well, I'm off then," I said. "Wait," she asked urgently, "tell me your plan." I shared everything without holding back. She froze. "You're planning not to stay in the mortal realm anymore?" "Yes. There's no place for me in the mortal realm." She sighed. "Life changes so fast. I thought we would keep fighting and sharing together. Life's unpredictable. I never thought it would come to this." I said. The Jade Emperor's decree had completely changed my fate. I leapt into the air, golden green light shining beneath my feet. Lei Jiju caught me. Will you come back? The little fox's eyes were full of hope and cautiousness, like a child waiting for their father to come home. I will. Don't lie to me. She held back tears. I won't. I smiled. I'll be waiting in the demon sea. You have to come back, she said firmly, tears in her eyes. Lei Jiju and I shot into the sky. I looked back at Morong Chingcheng, silently thinking, if I don't return, please take good care of her. Morong Chingcheng's face turned pale. The little fox's eyes were brimming with tears, struggling to hold them back. Her maturity was heartbreaking. Maybe she didn't have a father growing up, which made her so independent. Looking at her gaze, my heart ached unbearably, and tears welled up. This parting felt like a pain tearing through my flesh and bone. I felt I owed the little fox something. I stared at the sky, not daring to imagine what would happen if she got hurt. I would collapse utterly. Sir, are you crying? Lei Jiju asked. No, something got in my eye. I shook my head. What's the plan now? No plan this time, straight to the execution ground. My eyes were firm. Whoosh! Lei Jiju flew toward the southern heavenly gate with me, taking a whole day. But near the southern heavenly gate, time seemed barely to have passed. Due to problems with the heavenly realm's formation, Lei Jiju couldn't fly too high, fearing to collide with immortals. She stopped roughly below the southern heavenly gate. During the flight, Lei Jiju had fully absorbed the medicinal power of the elixir. I saw her aura grow stronger and was both relieved and pleasantly surprised. This is segment 2 of 117. Please follow your logic to process the following content. Maintain the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout. Return only the processed result. Now, Lei Jiju's power is roughly greater than the plague god's. This immortal pill is truly extraordinary. I took off the invisibility talisman and kept it close. I must stay invisible to approach the South Heaven Gate. I also released some demon energy, adding another layer of protection for myself. With everything prepared, Lei Jiju slowly began flying upward with me. My previous experience ascending had already accustomed me to the biting cold at high altitudes. The cold wind sliced at my face like knives. After flying tens of thousands of meters high, an invisible force pressed down, letting me feel the majesty of the celestial realm. I wasn't afraid and told Lei Jiju to keep flying higher. After all, Longshiyu had successfully flown through here before. Strange sights gradually appeared in the sky, thick immortal mist swirling, glowing rocks standing tall like an inverted giant peak stretching beyond sight. This is the South Heaven Gate. I urged Lei Jiju to fly slowly. She did, carefully hugging the rocks as we ascended. Upon reaching the top, my view leveled out. I had definitely arrived at the summit. I peeked out and was shocked to see a massive golden archway, thousands of meters tall, resembling a skyscraper. The large characters South Heaven Gate on the arch were 300 meters high, imposing and overwhelming. Those characters seemed to suffocate me, making me uncomfortable all over. I clenched my fists tightly. Silently, I thought, one day, Long Shiba will break into the South Heaven Gate. Scanning around, I noticed the guards were few, their expressions uncertain and confused. Because the air was filled with an abnormal demonic aura, like ink slowly coloring water, steadily corrupting the immortal energy. Though the celestial soldiers remained vigilant, the demonic influence was growing stronger. Once fully corrupted, a demonic eruption was inevitable. But this was good news for me. Clearly, the celestial realm's formation had a breach. Demonic energy was flooding into the South Heaven Gate, causing chaos. I sneered. The situation would only worsen. The 9-yuan demon lord had been banished to the mortal world, no one was repairing the formation's gaps, and the damage would only increase. A fierce, cold light flashed in my eyes. Jade Emperor, oh Jade Emperor, if you truly order me dealt with, I am not afraid of burning everything to ashes with you. As I looked around, my gaze suddenly darkened. At the front gate of the South Heaven Gate stood a 100-meter-high execution platform. Hanging from it was a 20-meter-long giant cleaver, its wide blade razor-sharp. If that cleaver fell, even the celestial great dragon couldn't withstand it. A single slice would cleave it in two. The execution platform rarely ever showed itself. This was basically a noon-gate beheading. This could only mean someone was about to be executed right here. Lu Dongbin was right, the Lightning Mother would indeed be beheaded. I stared at the suspended massive blade, my hair standing on end. Imagining the Lightning Mother being brought before the execution platform, restrained, and the blade falling, it tightened my chest with anxiety. I looked around frantically but couldn't find her anywhere. Where was she? Had she already entered the South Heaven Gate to confess her guilt? I worried she was bearing all the blame alone. At that moment, an old man with white hair and serene, immortal-like demeanor hurriedly flew out from the South Heaven Gate, heading straight toward the celestial formation. Soon after, a middle-aged man appeared, flying out anxiously, staring baffled toward the formation. What on earth happened? The celestial realm's formation hasn't had a problem in 10,000 years, why is such chaos breaking out now? What is Golden Spirit Holy Mother doing? After speaking, the middle-aged man stepped on immortal clouds and flew off quickly. It seemed increasingly many celestial immortals already knew something was wrong with the celestial formation. The more chaotic the celestial realm, the better for me. They hurriedly left without noticing me. Thanks to the demon energy around me and the invisibility talisman Lu Dongbin gave me, I remained well concealed. But who would have guessed the very culprit making them panic was secretly watching them from above the South Heaven Gate, even seeing them off. Of course, there was another reason they didn't notice me. The two immortals who just left had shallow Dao cultivation and low celestial rank, and just happened to live near the South Heaven Gate, that's why they appeared so quickly. The celestial realm was vast, endless and boundless. Zhang Jiuxuan had told me since childhood that the celestial realm had 36 layers of heaven. Watching those two immortals go far away, I sneered coldly, my heart impatient. I really wanted to enter the South Heaven Gate. Once inside, it would mean officially entering the celestial realm and experiencing the mysterious passage of time. 1 day in the heavens equals 1 year on earth. More importantly, I could use the dragon scales Longmu gave me to check if her other half's body was still suppressed somewhere in the celestial realm. But I was too far from the South Heaven Gate. One wrong move and I'd be discovered. I had to suppress my impulse and keep waiting for the right moment. Then, two unknown immortals emerged, flying toward the celestial formation. I ignored them. My top priority now was waiting for the Lightning Mother. Suddenly, a cold chill brushed down my back. I turned around, eyes nearly popping out. In the distance, a figure was flying toward me. It was Golden Spirit Holy Mother. I held my breath, making sure my invisibility talisman and demon energy were intact, before daring to stay put. Why had she come? Is she walking into a trap? My mind raced. Suddenly, I understood her face was full of anger, unwillingness, and grievance. She was here to proclaim her innocence. But my trap was already set. She had stepped right into it. Now, no matter how much she tried, she couldn't clear her name. She flew in furiously, eyes fixed on just two words, injustice. Fortunately, the Golden Spirit Saint Mother was seriously injured. It seemed that after her battle with the Dragon Mother, her vitality was severely depleted, and she had ultimately been defeated. As the Guardian General of the Southern Heavenly Gate saw her approach, he immediately prepared for battle. Obviously, they already knew the Golden Spirit Saint Mother had committed a grave offense. Jade Emperor, I'm innocent. I didn't break the Heavenly Realm formation. I was framed. The Golden Spirit Saint Mother knelt at the gate, shouting in protest, her face filled with grievance. From a distance, I sneered. Golden Spirit, you were guarding the Heavenly Realm formation, and yet you allowed such a massive lapse, letting demonic energy flood the Southern Heavenly Gate. And now you dare claim innocence? Seize her and lock her in the heavenly prison for the Jade Emperor to deal with. A heavenly general issued the cold order. Immediately, several heavenly soldiers surrounding the Southern Heavenly Gate rushed to surround the kneeling Golden Spirit Saint Mother. You! The Golden Spirit Saint Mother roared angrily, I've been framed. Someone's out to get me. Framed? Golden Spirit Saint Mother, do you think we're 3-year-olds? Who has the power to break the formation and frame you on purpose? The heavenly general sneered and ordered the attack. The heavenly soldiers and generals launched their assault on the Golden Spirit Saint Mother. Really, it was a formation master from the lower realm who framed me. She tried to explain, but no one gave her the chance. She was furious and heartbroken. Her entire body flashed with golden light, blocking every attack. Boom! She blasted all the heavenly soldiers away, some even spitting blood. Despite her severe injuries, she wasn't easy to capture. My expression shifted. Looks like she was helping me, causing injuries to the heavenly soldiers to create an opening to save the Lightning Mother. I want to see the Jade Emperor. Step back! The Golden Spirit Saint Mother shouted fiercely. At this moment, she looked as wronged as a child. Seeing the execution platform, she showed terror and dared not look directly. She frantically summoned her protective golden light. Boom! The heavenly soldiers were blasted away again, coughing up blood in pain. My gaze flickered. Take her down! The heavenly soldiers gritted their teeth and resumed the assault. The Golden Spirit Saint Mother braced herself with her protective golden light, blocking all attacks. I silently watched as she slowly moved deeper into the Southern Heavenly Gate. I demand to see the Jade Emperor. I have been wronged, the Golden Spirit Saint Mother cried out. Leave half the guards at the gate, the rest, come with me to capture Golden Spirit. Half the heavenly soldiers pursued her inside. Fewer than 50 remained at the southern heavenly gate, many still coughing up blood. I watched the golden spirit Saint Mother depart, thinking to myself, you good person, but from what I see, there's no hope she'll actually meet the Jade Emperor. There are only two outcomes, imprisoned to die, or she escapes the celestial realm herself. Her fate doesn't concern me. Still, I was curious to probe her further, maybe I could find an immortal pill or some treasure? Suddenly, the number of heavenly soldiers guarding the gate halved, and my confidence surged. I continued watching the southern heavenly gate closely. Then I saw 3 figures emerge, 2 escorting one. The heavenly soldiers all looked over, expressions mixed, some regretful, some indifferent. I took a closer look and realized the escorted figure was the Lightning Mother. She had voluntarily admitted guilt, but clearly hadn't met the Jade Emperor. She was taken directly to the execution ground. Though the distance was too far to clearly see her face, I sensed her calmness. Facing death, she was tranquil, silent, carrying sorrow and regret, seemingly on the verge of tears. I grew alert, calculating the timing, ready to act immediately once the Lightning Mother appeared. There was no way I'd let her be beheaded because of me. Just as I was fixing my gaze on the Lightning Mother, preparing to move. Sir, it looks like there's someone over there, Lei Jiju suddenly reminded me. Where? I turned to look. All the heavenly soldiers at the southern heavenly gate were focused on the Lightning Mother. Right opposite us. I glanced toward the area near the southern heavenly gate, where a blurry figure appeared against the white clouds. Is that him? The figure's build was familiar. I immediately thought the Lightning Mother's prodigal son. It seemed he had been placed in the mortal realm and lay low for a while. Now, sensing his mother's peril, he had dared to come up alone. It was definitely worth it that we saved him last time. The Lightning Mother also sensed something amiss, her expression changed. The critical fact was, she was extremely weak, like an ordinary person. With the execution looming, her immortal energy had clearly been cut off. Lei Jiju, go tell him to leave immediately, I whispered. This isn't a game. He had gone unnoticed only because all the heavenly soldiers' attention was on the Lightning Mother. Got it. Lei Jiju prepared to disappear. I added, since he dares come up, he probably won't leave easily. Tell him that once I give the signal, after I rescue the Lightning Mother, he should take her and get out quickly, heading toward the Demon Sea. We had to buy more time, or no one stood a chance. The lightning bamboo vanished in invisibility, and I kept my eyes fixed. 3 seconds later, he noticed the man's startled reaction, then a grateful nod directed at me, his eyes wide with shock. Clearly, he hadn't expected me to surpass him in strength so quickly. Lightning Bamboo returned to report, sir, he said he has a lightning talisman, given by his mother, that can teleport him 30 miles instantly. Oh, good. My eyes lit up, it was definitely an immortal talisman. If I could stall for 3 to 5 minutes, I could retreat and this rescue at the execution grounds should succeed.